I believe that, when Jesus said that people from every tongue and tribe and nation will be worshiping around God's throne, I'm like, I want to be a part of that. I went out to learn language and culture and try to figure out how can I have an impact in a different part of the world. I met Steve. We were traveling. We were in Greece and Cyprus, and I just was suffering a lot of headaches. Steve, because we were in our first year of marriage, he's like, so you should probably just go to the doctor. I went and they're like, okay, we're just gonna give you a ton of blood tests and just rule out everything. I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia. I felt like I was doing what God had asked me to do, and now there was this huge barrier. And so it rocked my faith. We had moved to Dearborn and to live in a cross-cultural community and be in a new place. So I was teaching English, and I had 30 Arabic-speaking Muslim women, my students. And they'd say, why don't you have children? And it just was every day this reminder, but I couldn't tell them all those. Here's why I don't have kids. And then finally I just completely broke down, which was significant also in our marriage, because Steve was like, I don't ever want you to be in a place where you have to break down this much for me to see you and really understand your heart. So together we prayed and cried. And then I remember we spoke with one of our pastors, and he said, sometimes you have to step into the storm before you experience peace. And that's when we decided to take every precaution we could to have a healthy pregnancy. I grew up with 3 siblings, and I love the chaos, the love, the arguments, the sharing of siblings. So I've always wanted kids. I got onto this amazing miracle medication, and it was a new medication. They'd never tested it. So they said, you definitely can't be on this genetic altering material and have kids, but you can't ever go off this medication. This is your treatment to stay on it every day for the rest of your life. In our times of prayer, in this commitment to step forward in faith, even though we don't feel peace, our doctor left, and the new doctor came, and he was like, having kids is dangerous, the risks, but I would rather work with you than have you work against me. So we started that process and had Zoe. It took a lot of courage for both of us, and then to face our families and to face everybody who was like, oh, that's risky, that's dangerous, do you understand? And it was just trusting that God has good things for me, and to face some of these fears, I guess, for me to understand that. So Zoe, our first daughter, Zoe means life, abundant life. Eliana, our second daughter, means my God has answered me. Jamin was the gift we didn't dare pray for. He was a surprise. We had pushed the envelope so far, but God brought him anyways. And Jamin means the favored one, or my right hand. So the standard chemo that I had to be on while I was pregnant, I was feverish, on the couch, and I'd go in to get injections, and I had Zoe by my side, and she had her doll with her, and we'd go into the clinic, and I'd get my injection, and then Zoe would get her, she'd get a little injection for her doll. They'd put a Band-Aid on me and a Band-Aid on her doll, and then I'd go lay on the couch and just feel miserable for a day and a half. One of the risks of having children and going off medication was that I would relapse and my body would become resistant to my miracle meds. By the third one, I stopped responding to my miracle medication. I get a call from my doctor, and he says, now's the time. We gotta change your medication. You're not responding. I started a new miracle med. It's generation 2. It's the pumped up version of the first miracle med. I went back into remission within 6 weeks. Problem was, it's a lot more toxic to my body than my other medication was. It's a 5-hour energy drain. I take it every morning and go, there's 5 hours of energy gone. The problem though was a financial toxicity. So expensive. It's taking gold every morning. When I change medications, it's even more expensive. It's even more amazing. What are the toxicities in my life that I can handle? And what are the ones that are just a part of how I live? How can I stay healthy and find energy in other places. So embrace that naps are awesome, and embrace that maybe not all 3 of my kids are gonna all be in a sport at the same time. Maybe we alternate sports, and that's okay. And we can enjoy a slower pace of life and not feel bad about that. Jesus says, I will teach you how to live more lightly and freely. Especially during grad school, I was like owning I'm a grad student and I'm a mom and I'm a teacher. I'm a linguist, I'm a language learner, but ultimately I'm a neighbor, I'm a child of God, and now I'm this cancer patient. So I had to own really quickly, I am a mom, I am a non-traditional student, I am a cancer patient, I am all these things all at once. And for me to be successful at any of them, I kind of just need to own that I'm all of them in a big messy way. I feel incredibly grateful. I feel like I've been given a second lease on life. If not this time in history, if not this diagnosis, if not these things, so many things along the way, I may not be here. I may not have been able to live 20 years, 19 years with this cancer diagnosis. And to be in a healthy place where I can say, I have amazing friends and support systems, and I couldn't do any of these things on my own. I know there's so much grace. There's so many other people in the world who are just stuck, but they want to move forward in life. They just need a little bit of help and a little bit of hope. They just need a champion, someone to cheer them on, and someone to say, I can walk alongside you through this. How can I walk alongside an immigrant or a refugee or someone trying to learn a language? An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. And I feel 20 years in, with my family, with all that I've been blessed with, just want to rise above cancer and say, what else is there? What else do you have for me, God, in this world?